podcast where truth moves faster than a Holstein calf. No waiting on some pretty page. We're charting new ground in the digital age. From genomic codes to ROIHow facts, we cut through the noise, no holding back. Not your daddy's dairy news tonight. We're sparking debates with every insight. The ring's not where the real fight's at. It's in the data, in the channel chat. From pasture to processor to your morning cup, we're raising the stakes. Try and get ahead of herd. Yeah! Where the future's more than just a word. Ahead of herd. Come on! The bullvine's calling, let your voice be heard.
Welcome to the Bullvine Podcast, where we cut through the noise to bring you the genetic insights that actually matter to your operation's bottom line. I'm your host, and today we're diving deep into what might be the most significant genetic evaluation shakeup we've seen in years. The August 2025 proofs just dropped, and frankly, some of these ranking changes should have every progressive breeder paying attention. We're talking about bulls losing over 100 points overnight, proven sires delivering $2,400 per cow advantages, and a fundamental shift happening between genomic promises and economic reality. From Canada's dramatic leadership change to Italy's genomic volatility that should concern everyone, today's episode breaks down what these evaluations really mean for your breeding strategy. Whether you're running 50 cows or 5,000, the trends we're seeing across the US, Canada, UK, Germany, and Italy are reshaping how smart producers approach genetic selection. And trust me, the old playbook of chasing the highest TPI scores, that might be costing you serious money. Let's dive in.
We're talking about the August 2025 genetic evaluations, and frankly, they've delivered some of the most dramatic ranking reshuffles we've witnessed in years.
Oh, absolutely.
Just look at Stantons Remover PP, making a spectacular leap from number 7 to number 1 in Canada. It's not just a shakeup, it's a fundamental question mark, I think, over the very stability of genomic predictions.
Mm-hmm.
So the big tension right now is, are genomic promises truly delivering on their hype? Or is that tried and true reliability of proven sires making a strong comeback? Yeah, that's really the core issue, isn't it? And it's something I've been watching closely for, over 2 decades now. Believe me, these kinds of ranking shifts, where a top bull can lose over 100 points in a single evil.
Unthinkable.
Almost. It would have been unthinkable just a few years ago. And the implications for your breeding program, for your farm's financial health are, well, they're truly massive.
Right.
What's really caught my attention isn't just the new leaders, as impressive as some of them are. It's this escalating gap, this dance between what genomics promise us through predictions and what proven bulls actually deliver in the real world.
That real world performance.
Exactly. And honestly, some of the volatility we're seeing should prompt every producer to pause and consider if they're becoming perhaps a bit too aggressive with unproven genetics. It's definitely a reality check for the industry.
That volatility really hits home when you look at the numbers. The article has some pretty stark examples, doesn't it?
It does.
Take the Italian case study, for instance. Cookie cutter Hadley ET, a bull that was once number 2 genomic.
Right at the top.
Dropped to number 10, losing a staggering 102 points in one single evaluation cycle.
One cycle.
That's not just a minor adjustment. For a producer, that's a complete reversal of fortune, a complete shift in the projected value of his offspring.
It's an astronomical shift, really, and for any producer who had invested heavily in Hadley ET, perhaps buying a lot of semen or, banking on his future daughter.
Yeah, planning their whole herd around it, potentially.
It's a direct and immediate hit to their confidence and potentially their financial projections. To lose 102 points in one go from a top-tier position is almost unprecedented in terms of its magnitude.
Wow.
It highlights the inherent risk when you're dealing with predictions that don't yet have that real-world data to fully back them up. This isn't just about a number on a page. It's about the breeding decisions made on the farm, the capital spent on semen.
My heifer's already born.
Exactly. The future performance of heifers that were born based on that earlier, higher prediction. It's a stark reminder that while genomics offer speed, they can also carry significant risk if not approached, strategically.
So the contrast with Chrysalis is undeniable. In sharp contrast, you have the proven sire, ZFC, Chrysalis RF, who actually gained points.
Gained 29 points.
And solidified his number 1 position in Italy. The article points out he has thousands of daughters, actually milking in real barns, dealing with real feed costs and real heat stress.
And that's the key phrase right there.
That's a powerful statement about the value of real-world validation, isn't it? For a farmer, that's where the rubber meets the road.
It absolutely is. Chrysalis is the perfect counter-narrative to Hadley E.T.'s dramatic fall. When you have a bull with thousands of milking daughters, that data isn't speculative, it's concrete, it's validated, it's reliable.
You know what you're getting.
Exactly. Those daughters are experiencing the same daily challenges your cows are, the same feed costs, the same environmental stressors, the same management systems. So when a proven sire like Chrysalis gains points and strengthens his position, it speaks to an undeniable level of reliability and consistent performance under actual farm conditions. That's the kind of stability that truly pays dividends over the long term, reducing your risk in a volatile market. It's the difference between, say, a highly accurate weather forecast for tomorrow, which you can plan your day around, and a speculative forecast for next year. You know, you might hope for the best, but you wouldn't bet your entire farm on it.
And that analogy really clarifies the risk. Moving over to Germany, the article highlights another interesting gap. Genomic leaders Evenstar and Pennywise both hit RZG 164.
Top of the charts.
Now, RZG, for those unfamiliar, is Germany's total merit index, designed to balance production with crucial functional traits. That 164 RZG is a full 17-point advantage over the proven leader, Zivet, at RZG 147.
That's a big gap.
A huge gap. The article then adds that critical phrase, if the predictions hold true, noting that this gap represents serious money in lifetime profit. What kind of serious money are we talking about here, and how does a producer weigh that potential against the proven track record?
Well, that phrase, if the predictions hold true, is really the crux of the matter in Germany and, well, everywhere genomics are used, frankly. On paper, a 17-point RZG advantage is incredibly significant.
Huge.
For a typical herd, that could translate to hundreds, even thousands of dollars per cow in lifetime profitability. We're talking about more milk, yes, but also improved health, better fertility, greater longevity, all traits that directly impact your bottom line.
The whole package.
Right. However, the Italian experience with Hadley ET serves as a stark reminder that those genomic predictions, while powerful and often accurate, are still predictions. Germany's breeding program is world-class, no doubt about it, but even there, you have to weigh the potential upside of those high genomic numbers against the proven, reliable performance of a bull like Zivet, who is already demonstrating his worth through actual daughters.
It's a gamble, isn't it?
It's a high-stakes gamble, potentially, for serious money, but a gamble nonetheless. You have to ask yourself, how much risk are you willing to take on for that potential gain?
But then we look at the UK, and it almost seems like an exception to this rule of genomic volatility.
It does, yeah.
Marco Winters from AHDB is quoted saying, the 6 new graduates in the top 10 already have around 7,000 heifers registered in UK milk-recorded herds, with some now milking. Their proven high PLA values deviate by just 1 point on average from their earlier genomic predictions.
Just 1 point. That's incredible.
Now, PLI, the Profit Lifetime Index, is the UK's index for estimated lifetime profit. That's a massive vote of confidence for genomics, isn't it? What's going on in the UK that sets them apart?
It absolutely is an incredible success story, and it provides such a strong counterpoint to the volatility we just discussed in Italy. When you have 7,000 heifers across numerous milk-recorded herds, some already milking, validating their sire's genomic predictions with only a 1-point deviation on average in PLI.
Wow.
That's accuracy.
That's incredibly powerful. It signifies an extremely high level of accuracy and predictability in their genomic evaluation system for those specific traits. It suggests that factors like robust data collection, a well-structured genomic reference population, and perhaps the specific traits emphasized in their PLI are contributing to this remarkable consistency.
So UK breeders can feel pretty good about using those young sires. Well, yeah. For breeders in the UK, this gives them a much higher degree of confidence in adopting those genomic young sires early, knowing that the real-world performance is highly likely to closely mirror the initial predictions. This isn't just good news, it's groundbreaking for accelerating genetic progress with significantly reduced risk. It truly shows what's possible when genomics are done right.
So, if you're a farmer trying to make breeding decisions right now,
Yeah.
how do you balance this pursuit of rapid genetic progress that genomics promise with the fundamental need for reliability and stability that proven sires offer?
Yeah.
Feels like you're walking a tightrope, trying to get the most advanced genetics without falling into a financial hole?
You are, absolutely. It's a constant balancing act. The key is recognizing that genomic and proven aren't mutually exclusive categories you have to choose between. They're both powerful tools in your breeding toolbox. The UK example shows that genomics can be incredibly accurate and reliable, offering a pathway to faster genetic gain. But the Italian situation reminds us that they are not always accurate and that volatility carries real financial exposure.
So what's the approach then?
For a producer, this means you need to adopt a portfolio approach, which we'll definitely dive into more later. You can't just chase the highest genomic numbers blindly. You need to look at the reliability percentage of those genomic predictions, look at the depth of the pedigree, and critically evaluate the specific market you're operating in.
Gotcha.
If you're in a market where the genomic validation is strong, like the UK seems to be, perhaps you can be more aggressive. But in others, maybe a more conservative, balanced approach makes much more sense. It's about being progressive without being reckless. It's about being smart with your genetic investments, just like any other investment on your farm.
That's a crucial distinction. Now let's transition across the pond to North America, because the article notes how economic reality is truly driving genetic choices there, especially in the U.S. market. The focus seems to be shifting, and I get the sense it's all about profitability.
Indeed, it is, very much so. When we talk about the U.S. market, it's easy for producers to get caught up in the TPI numbers. TPI, or Total Performance Index, right? The Holstein Association USA's Index for Genetic Merit, a broad composite.
Sure, everyone knows TPI.
Exactly. For instance, Beyond High-Level ET might claim the #1 genomic spot at plus 3539 TPI. But, as the article points out, that's not the whole story. While TTI is important for genetic merit, especially maybe for breeding stock, it doesn't always directly translate to profitability for the commercial producer.
Okay, so what's the better measure then?
The real conversation, especially with the economic pressures farmers are facing in 2025, needs to be about net merit and what that means for your milk check, because that's where the rubber meets the road for daily operations.
So tell us more about this economic domination by Genosource in the U.S. net merit rankings. The article says it's a complete takeover.
It really is quite something.
With Genosource retrospect leading at an incredible plus 1317 NMA, followed closely by his stablemates Genosource EnduranceD at plus 1233 NM and Genosource Purdy at plus 1222 NMLO. Why is this so significant, and what exactly does net merit signify for a dairy producer dealing with the realities of 2025?
This is a seismic shift, truly a defining moment in U.S. dairy genetics. Net merit, or DNMA, is an economic index that estimates the lifetime profitability of a cow. It's incredibly comprehensive, taking into account a broad range of economically important traits.
Not just milk.
Not just milk, it includes production, component yields, fat and protein, health, fertility, productive life, and even things like body size. It then weights them by their actual economic value to the producer, factoring in things like feed costs, milk prices, replacement costs.
So it's really about the bottom line.
Precisely. So when Genosource takes the top 3 spots in net merit, it's not just about high production. It signals a strategic and systematic breeding for traits that actually make money, rather than simply chasing TPI points that might look good on paper but don't always translate into real-world profitability.
Especially with feed costs.
Exactly. With feed costs being what they are in 2025, which the article emphasizes is non-negotiable, selecting for profitability through net merit is absolutely critical. It's about breeding for efficiency and resilience, ensuring that every cow contributes meaningfully to the financial health of the operation. You want cows that aren't just high producers, but also healthy, fertile, and efficient converters of feed, maximizing your return on every dollar invested.
Fewer surprises, more consistent income.
That's the goal. For a producer, this means fewer surprises on the expense side and more consistent income.
And on the proven side in the U.S., SDG Cap Garza Eat is leading at plus 3488 TPI with an impressive 98% reliability.
Rock solid reliability.
The article highlights his balanced profile. Plus 146 pounds fat, plus 53 pounds protein, and plus 3.7 productive life, PL. For a producer, how does that combination of fat, protein, and PL translate into actual profitability, especially when milk prices or feed costs start to fluctuate?
Garza is a textbook example of a proven sire that offers true stability and profitability in a volatile market. The 98% reliability means there's very little guesswork involved. His performance is validated by a huge number of daughters already in production.
Proven performance.
Proven. And his balance is key. high fat, plus 146 pounds, and protein, plus 53 pounds, ensure you're getting paid for components, which is increasingly important in many milk markets where premiums are tied to solids, not just volume.
Right, that impacts the milk check directly.
Directly, making each pound of milk more valuable. Plus, that plus 3.7 productive life, PL, is crucial for longevity. In practical terms, it means his daughters are expected to stay in the herd almost 4 months longer than average.
And that saves on replacement costs.
Dramatically. When you combine strong, component-rich production with cows that stay in the herd longer and have fewer health issues, you dramatically reduce your replacement costs and veterinary bills, improving overall efficiency. These are the traits that act as a financial buffer when feed prices are high or milk prices are volatile. They provide consistent, reliable income and reduce expenses, helping you weather those economic storms.
Moving north to Canada, the article describes the remover revolution. Stantons Remover PP made this spectacular jump from number 7 to number 1 in August,
Quite the jump.
backed by 234 daughters across 32 herds. That's real-world validation, proving his genomic predictions. How is Remover's balanced profile specifically addressing the needs of Canadian producers, especially with those rapidly rising replacement costs?
Remover Search number 1 in Canada is a fantastic story of genomic prediction meeting real-world validation. The 234 daughters across 32 herds aren't just a number. They represent diverse management systems and environments from BC to Quebec, right?
Right across the country.
This means his performance is robust and repeatable under varying conditions, giving Canadian producers high confidence. His balanced profile is exactly what Canadian producers need right now. With replacement costs climbing rapidly, we're talking thousands of dollars to raise or buy a new heifer.
Yeah, it's getting serious.
Producers need cows that are durable and productive for multiple lactations. Remover offers solid production numbers, but critically, he brings those essential durability traits. Strong feet and legs, good udders, and overall conformation that allows cows to withstand the rigors of modern dairy farming, even in Canada's diverse climates.
So fewer problems, cows last longer.
Exactly. This translates directly into fewer herd health issues, fewer forced calls, and cows staying in the herd longer, which directly reduces those increasingly painful replacement costs. For a producer, it's about investing in a cow that will pay you back year after year.
And on the genomic young sire front in Canada, OCD Milan ET leads at plus 4118 GPA LPI. LPI, for those listening, is Canada's Livestock Performance Index, a multi-trait index for lifetime profitability. Milan has impressive numbers like plus 638 milk, plus 108 fat, plus robust type, plus 10 mammary system, plus 6 feet and legs.
Really strong numbers there.
How does this combination of high production and structural soundness align with what the Canadian industry is selecting for, particularly given its diverse climate and management challenges?
Milan is incredibly exciting for the genomic category in Canada. His combination of high production, especially in components with that exceptional plus 108 fat, alongside truly robust type traits like a plus 10 mammary system and plus 6 feet and legs, is, well, it's almost the ideal package for the Canadian industry.
Why is that type so important in Canada?
Well, Canada has a wide range of climates, right? From harsh winters that demand resilient animals to hot, humid summers and diverse management systems, from large free stalls to smaller tie stalls. Cattle bred with strong structural soundness and functional type can withstand these varied conditions better.
Makes sense. Fewer issues.
They have fewer lameness issues because of strong feet and legs, fewer mastitis problems due to superior udders, and they simply last longer in the herd. This translates directly into more profitable cows that require less intervention and are more resilient to environmental and management stressors. He's the type of bull that delivers on both ends, making abundant, valuable milk and lasting in the herd to pay dividends over time.
Less headaches, more profit.
That's it. For a farmer, it means less headaches and more profit.
So whether you're in the U.S. or Canada, how do these market-specific trends and economic priorities impact a listener's breeding goals? How should they consider these differing indices when making their crucial breeding decisions?
You really need to intimately understand what drives profitability in your specific operation, because one size definitely does not fit all. It's not plug and play. For example, if you're in the US and selling into a market that heavily penalizes somatic cell count or rewards fat and protein significantly, then net merit is your absolute best friend. It's specifically designed to align with those economic realities.
Okay.
If you're in Canada, facing high replacement costs and diverse environmental conditions, then LPI, with an emphasis on durability, productive life, and solid production, might be your primary focus. Don't just chase the highest TPI or LPI if it doesn't align with how your milk is paid for or the specific challenges your cows face daily.
Know your own situation.
It's about understanding the nuances of your own market, your unique farm setup, and selecting genetics that will perform optimally and profitably within that context. It's about being strategic, not just following a generalized top list.
That's a powerful call to action for our listeners. Now let's shift our focus to the European markets, which the article highlights as exemplifying a functional excellence revolution. They seem to have somewhat different priorities, driving a unique aspect of genetic progress focused on overall cow health and durability.
They absolutely do. European evaluations, particularly in Germany, are widely regarded as world-class for their comprehensive approach to functional traits that go well beyond just milk volume.
More than just production numbers.
Much more. And as we discussed earlier, the UK provides a fantastic counterpoint to the volatility we saw in Italy, showing how well genomics can work when the validation system is robust and consistently accurate. This section of the article really drills down into what it means to breed a truly resilient, long-lasting cow, not just a high-producing one.
The whole animal.
Exactly. It's about breeding for the whole animal for the entire life cycle and ensuring profitability through health and efficiency.
Let's revisit the UK first, because it's a shining example of where genomic predictions actually worked incredibly well. The article states that 6 new daughter-proven sires entered the top 10 PLI positions, and their proven values matched their genomic predictions almost perfectly.
Yeah, that 1-point deviation again.
To recap, their values deviated by just 1 point on average. Talk about a confidence boost. What makes this so remarkable? And what can other markets learn from this kind of consistency?
It's an incredible success story that truly highlights the potential of genomics. That level of accuracy proven values deviating by just 1 point on average from earlier genomic predictions is truly the gold standard for genomic reliability.
It's what everyone aims for.
It is. It means that the UK's genomic evaluation system, particularly for their PPI, Profit Lifetime Index, is highly reliable and robust. For a producer, this means you can have an exceptionally high degree of confidence in using those elite genomic young sires. You're not just taking a leap of faith, you're making an informed decision based on a system that has demonstrated its ability to predict real-world performance with remarkable precision, validated by 7,000 milking daughters.
So what can others learn?
Well, this is what unlocks the true potential of genomic selection. Faster genetic progress with significantly reduced risk. Other markets can learn from their rigorous data collection, the depth of their reference populations, and perhaps their emphasis on traits that are more consistently predictable through genomic markers. It's about building trust in the system, which then allows for more aggressive yet responsible adoption of new genetics.
And leading that charge is OCD Trooper Sheepster, the new proven leader at 779 PLI. His production numbers are excellent, but the article points out his plus 113-day lifespan improvement as crucial. Why is that specific longevity trait so economically significant, especially with UK replacement costs exceeding £2,000 per animal?
Yeah, that's a big number.
For a typical herd, what does that really mean in terms of savings?
Trooper Sheepster is a phenomenal example of the modern ideal for profitability in today's dairy landscape. His production is excellent, yes, but that plus 113-day lifespan improvement is where the true economic magic happens for the producer. Let's put it into perspective. If a replacement heifer costs you over £2,000 to raise or purchase, which is a very real number in the UK.
Absolutely.
Every additional day, every additional month, every additional lactation, a cow stays healthy and productive in your herd directly reduces your overhead. For a 100-cow herd, if you can improve the average productive life of your cows by even just a few months, you might reduce your annual replacement rate by maybe 5-10%.
Which means?
Which translates into avoiding the cost of 5-10 new heifers. That's 10,000 to 20,000 pounds annually just in avoided replacement costs, not to mention the sustained milk income. Longevity isn't just a welfare concern, it's a massive financial lever.
It really hits the bottom line.
It directly impacts your bottom line by spreading fixed costs over a longer productive life and significantly reducing those substantial replacement expenses. It's a trade that truly pays you back, directly improving your cash flow.
That makes perfect sense. And then you have the genomic leader, Peak Alta Value Pack, at 877 PLI, showing even stronger longevity at plus 122 days, while still maintaining solid production with nearly 800 kilograms of milk.
even better longevity.
The article calls him the modern ideal. What makes him the epitome of what breeders are striving for now, and how does he embody this functional excellence revolution?
Peak Alta Value Pack truly represents the direction the industry is heading globally, not just in the UK. To combine excellent production, nearly 800 kilograms of milk with an astounding plus 122 days of extended lifespan, and that higher PLI is to breed a cow that delivers on all fronts.
The complete package.
He's not just a production machine. He's building a resilient, long-lasting herd that will consistently generate income while minimizing expenses. This focus on comprehensive genetic merit, where functional traits like longevity, health, and fertility are given equal or even greater importance than just raw production volume, is what defines the modern ideal.
So it's about efficiency and health.
It's about breeding for efficiency, health, and sustainability, all of which contribute to long-term profitability and significantly reduced management headaches for the farmer. It's creating cattle that are built to last and to perform consistently over that extended lifespan, allowing producers to focus on optimizing their operations rather than constantly dealing with replacements and health issues.
It's also striking how Genosource captain, a former industry leader, dropped to 5th place at 723 PLI, despite having over 2,000 UK milking daughters.
Yeah, that's quite a drop for such a proven bull.
This really illustrates how rapidly genetic progress can transform breeding hierarchies when functional traits take precedence. Is it that captain is less good? Or that the bar has just been raised so dramatically?
It's absolutely the latter. It's a stark illustration of the incredible pace of genetic progress and the continuously shifting priorities within the industry. Genosource Captain has been a fantastic, reliable sire for years, a true workhorse.
Sure, a household name.
Absolutely. But the fact that he's been displaced from the very top, even with thousands of proven daughters validating his performance, shows how quickly the genetic landscape is evolving. The industry is moving toward a more holistic view of profitability, where health, fertility, and efficiency traits are paramount.
So it's not a knock on captain.
Not at all. This isn't a knock on Captain. It's a testament to the continuous improvement in genetics, where newer sires are simply offering a more complete package that aligns with the current economic and management demands. It's proof that standing still means falling behind in dairy genetics. You constantly need to be looking for that next level of improvement across all economically relevant traits.
Over in Germany, their precision breeding truly shines, focusing heavily on functional traits. Proven leader Zivit commands RZG 147 through an impressive balance, plus 1,971 kilogram milk, plus 88 kilograms fat, plus 86 kilogram protein, combined with functional traits like RZN, Longevity Index 121, and RZG's Overall Health Index 113.
Really solid functional numbers there.
How do these numbers specifically reflect a bull that actually works in commercial settings? What does that mean for a German producer on a daily basis?
Zivit epitomizes the German breeding philosophy, which emphasizes a balanced, functional animal built for commercial dairy operations. The RZG index in Germany is designed to identify bulls that excel across multiple traits important for profitability and ease of management.
So it's the combination that matters.
Exactly. While his milk, fat, and protein numbers are excellent, it's the combination with functional traits that truly sets him apart. RZN 121 for longevity means his daughters are built to last, reducing replacement costs. RZG's 113 for overall health, which includes traits like mastitis resistance, fertility, and calving ease, indicates that his daughters are not just high producers, but also healthy, fertile, and durable.
Less trouble, basically.
For a German producer, this means less veterinary intervention, fewer reproductive issues, and cows that stay in the herd longer without needing constant attention. That's what working in commercial settings truly means. Delivering consistent, low-maintenance profitability day in and day out, freeing up time and resources for other aspects of the farm.
And the genomic sphere in Germany produced twin leaders, Evenstar and Pennywise, both at RZG 164.
Tied at the top.
Evenstar's projected numbers are incredible. Plus 2,090 kilogram milk, plus 120 kilograms fat, plus 69 kilogram protein, plus a fantastic RZN 134 for longevity. This really positions him as a premium choice. How might a producer decide between a proven bull like Zivit and a genomic leader like Evenstar.
Absolutely. Evenstar and Pennywise at RZG164 are at the absolute cutting edge of genomic potential. Evenstar's projected numbers, particularly that plus 120 kilograms fat and an outstanding RZN134 for longevity, indicate a bull that could significantly elevate a herd's performance across the board.
Big potential jump.
Huge jump. This isn't just about raw milk volume. It's about highly profitable components in cows that will have extended productive lives. For operations that can tolerate the inherent, albeit lower genomic risk, perhaps larger herds that can absorb the occasional genomic re-ranking.
Where diversification helps.
Bulls like Evenstar represent opportunity to achieve rapid genetic leaps, producing cattle that are both highly productive and incredibly durable. The decision between Zivit and Evenstar would come down to a producer's risk tolerance and their specific breeding goals. Zivit offers rock-solid, proven reliability. Evenstar offers the potential for faster, higher genetic gains, but with the inherent genomic prediction risk. It's a strategic choice for maximum progress.
It's also fascinating to see the continued progress in Red Holstein genetics in Germany, with Ginger leading proven sires at RZG143 and Schock leading genomics at RZG161. What does this indicate for the broader industry?
The strength and continued progress of Red Holstein genetics in Germany is remarkable. Ginger, a proven sire at RZG143 with over 2,600 kilograms of milk from 510 daughters, shows that this segment of the breed is not only holding its own, but making significant strides in productivity and functional traits.
So Red Holsteins are keeping pace.
Absolutely. And Schock, a genomic red Holstein at RZG161, demonstrates that the same rapid genetic progress seen in Holsteins is also being achieved in red Holsteins. This offers producers more choices and allows for important genetic diversification, which is always a good thing for long-term breed health and adaptability.
More options are always good.
Exactly. It signifies that you don't have to compromise on performance for color preference or specific market niches. It provides a valuable alternative for producers looking to diversify their genetics or who simply prefer the red Holstein breed.
And finally, Italy. The article describes their evaluations as providing the starkest illustration of genomic volatility you've seen in the world.
Yeah, it's pretty dramatic over there sometimes.
What exactly should worry every breeder about the dramatic swings of 100 points or more in a single evaluation? It sounds like playing a game of chance with your genetics.
What should worry every breeder about Italy's genomic volatility is precisely that. The sheer unpredictability it introduces into breeding programs. Imagine you've invested in a genomic bull, a rising star, whose evaluation drops by 100 points or more in a single cycle.
Ouch.
That's not just a statistical anomaly, that's a direct and sudden devaluation of semen you've purchased, a significant change in the expected performance of offspring already on the ground, and a major disruption to your long-term breeding plan. It makes long-term planning incredibly difficult and highlights the substantial financial risk of relying too heavily on unproven genetics in such a volatile system.
It undermines confidence.
Completely. It's a loud warning about the potential pitfalls of over-reliance on predictions without sufficient real-world validation, and it can leave producers feeling like they've been left holding the bag.
So on the flip side of that, why does a proven bull like ZFZ Chrysalis RF at 5169 GPFT provide important stability in the Italian market, especially given that volatility? And GPFT, by the way, is Italy's Genomic Production and Fitness Total Index.
Chrysalis provides that crucial stability precisely because he is proven. His GPFT of 5169 is based on the actual performance of his daughters already milking in real-world Italian dairy settings.
And now guesswork.
It eliminates the guesswork and the potential for drastic, unpredictable re-ranking. For an Italian producer where profitability can be very tight due to specific market conditions and feed costs, having a bull like Chrysalis in their breeding program offers a reliable foundation. They know what they're getting, they know his daughters perform consistently, and that consistency acts as a vital anchor against the unpredictable shifts seen in the genomic rankings.
A safe bet.
He's the safe, reliable choice that mitigates risk, allowing producers to build their herd's genetic base with confidence, which is invaluable in a high-risk environment.
And Peak Spellbound ET is the new #1 genomic at 5458 GPFT, specifically highlighted for his exceptional component percentages, plus 1.07% fat and plus 0.54% protein.
Those are huge percentages.
Why are these components so critical for Italy's cheese-focused industry? And how does that tie into the ICS PR index, where Smarty PET leads at 1398 ICS PRO?
Italy's dairy industry is unique because of its incredibly strong focus on value-added products, particularly high-quality cheeses like Parmigiano Reggiano and Grana Padano.
Right, cheese is king there.
Absolutely. For cheese production, while the volume of milk is important, the percentage of fat and protein is absolutely paramount. These are the milk solids that directly translate into cheese yield. So spellbound ET's incredible component percentages plus 1.07% fat and plus 0.54% protein are not just impressive numbers. They directly address this crucial market need.
More cheese per liter of milk.
Exactly. His daughters will produce milk that is far more valuable for cheesemaking, meaning producers are paid significantly more per hundredweight of milk. The ICSPR index, which Smarty PET leads, explicitly reflects this economic reality. It's an index heavily weighted to prioritize profitability based on the value of components over sheer volume.
So it reflects the market perfectly.
What this means for Italian producers is that breeding for high component percentages directly translates into substantially higher milk checks because they are paid more for the quality and yield of their milk for cheese production. It's a perfect example of market-specific selection driving genetic priorities, making these bulls exceptionally profitable within their specific industry context.
So for our listeners, even if you're not in Europe, how can understanding these diverse market priorities and outcomes inform your own breeding program? What universal lessons can be learned about balancing production and functional traits?
The core lesson here, no matter where you are geographically, is that you must intimately understand your own market's payment system and your own farm's specific challenges. The Italian focus on high components for cheese, the UK's emphasis on longevity due to high replacement costs, or Germany's balanced functional traits for overall commercial viability, these aren't just European quirks.
They're examples.
They are brilliant examples of how genetic selection must align with economic realities on your farm. You need to ask yourself, how am I actually paid for my milk? What are my biggest costs? Is it feed, replacements, vet bills? What management challenges do I face? Daily heat stress, lameness, repro issues?
Do your homework.
Exactly. Once you answer those questions honestly, you can then identify precisely which functional traits, beyond just raw milk volume, are going to drive your profitability and make your life easier. It's about tailoring your genetic strategy to your unique circumstances and financial goals, not just chasing a global top list that might not apply to your farm.
That brings us to our next major point, broadening the discussion to the overarching trends impacting dairy genetics globally. It's clear these are heavily driven by economic pressures and a shifting understanding of what truly defines a profitable, sustainable cow.
Absolutely. What we're seeing across all these markets isn't just a series of isolated events. It's a collective industry response to rising costs, tighter margins, and increased consumer and societal demands.
They're all connected.
Very much so. These traits we're about to discuss, health, longevity, component production, feed efficiency, and even poll genetics, they are no longer nice-to-have features. They're becoming absolutely essential for profitability and even for survival in today's dairy climate. The economic realities of 2025 are forcing producers to be incredibly strategic and holistic with their breeding decisions, looking for every edge to optimize their operations.
Let's dive into health and longevity first. The article mentions Progenesis Watchman's Elite 8.6 Health Index as defensive genetics. What exactly does that mean, and how do values like the UK's Healthy Cow or Germany's RZG scores link directly to rising veterinary costs and ultimately economic survival for a producer?
Defensive genetics is a perfect term for Watchman's Elite 8.6 Health Index. It means breeding animals that are inherently more robust and resistant to common diseases and health issues. Think of it as building a stronger immune system and a more resilient body through genetics.
Building resilience.
Exactly. In today's environment where vet costs are escalating and every sick cow means lost production, extra labor, drug expenses, and often a higher likelihood of being culled prematurely.
It all adds up fast.
It does. Selecting for robust health traits is like building a financial fortress around your herd. The UK's Healthy Cow values and Germany's RZG scores are comprehensive indices that combine multiple health-related traits, mastitis resistance, metabolic health, calving ease, calf survival. When you breed for these, you're not just improving animal welfare, which is incredibly important.
Very important.
But you're directly impacting your bottom line by significantly reducing the incidence of costly health problems. Imagine cutting your vet bill by 10% or more just by having healthier cows. In essence, healthy cows equal more profitable cows, and in tight economic times, prioritizing health traits truly is a matter of economic survival.
Less time treating, more time managing.
Precisely. It directly translates to less time spent treating sick animals and more time managing a productive, efficient herd.
It's a complete paradigm shift, moving from just volume to focusing on the cow's entire contribution. And speaking of economic shifts, the article highlights component production as the new economic reality, moving away from volume alone.
A huge shift.
Contrast Ginger's high volume with peak spellbound ET's exceptional fat percentage, and explain why component premiums are becoming more significant, leading to better returns for producers.
This is a fundamental change in how many producers are getting paid across the globe. For decades, the focus was primarily on sheer volume, how many kilograms or pounds of milk could a cow produce. Ginger, with over 2,600 kilograms of milk, still excels in that traditional volume metric, producing a lot of liquid.
The old way.
Right. However, for a growing number of markets, particularly those involved in value-added products like cheese, yogurt, or butter, it's the fat and protein percentages and total yields that truly drive the milk check. Peak spellbound ETs plus 1.07% fat and plus 0.54% protein are astronomically high.
Really high.
Meaning his daughters will produce milk with a much higher concentration of solids, the good stuff that processors actually want. As processors increasingly pay more for these valuable components rather than just the water in the milk, producers with component-rich milk receive significantly higher premiums.
So quality pays more than quantity now in many cases.
That's exactly it. This means that even if a cow produces slightly less volume, if her components are significantly higher, she can be far more profitable than a high-volume, low-component cow. Imagine two cows producing the same volume, but one brings in an extra 20-30 cents per hundredweight due to components. Over a herd, that adds up to thousands of dollars annually. It's about quality over quantity, and it's becoming the dominant payment model for a reason. It rewards efficiency and value.
Another fascinating trend highlighted is polled integration, which is finally happening seamlessly. We're seeing top-ranking polled genetics like Germany's Create P achieving RZG 161 and Canada's Vogue A2P2PP maintaining plus 15 CONF without any apparent performance compromises.
Yeah, that's a big development.
Why is this significant beyond just a preference for naturally hornless animals? What are the real-world benefits for a farmer?
This is a win-win situation for both animal welfare and farm management, and it's a sign of real progress in genetic selection. Historically, polled genetics sometimes came with a performance penalty, right?
Yeah, there was often a trade-off.
You might have had to compromise on production or other desirable traits to get a naturally hornless animal. But now, as the article highlights with Create P and Vogue A2P2PP, we're seeing elite genetics that also happen to be polled. This is incredibly significant because it allows producers to meet growing consumer demands and welfare concerns around dehorning without sacrificing any genetic progress.
So no more dehorning hassle.
Exactly. For the farmer, it completely removes a major management headache. Dehorning takes time, labor, equipment, and can be stressful for the animals, potentially leading to setbacks. Having naturally polled calves is a huge efficiency gain, reduces labor costs, eliminates the need for specialized equipment, and aligns with growing public expectations for animal care. It's a great example of how responsible breeding can address multiple needs simultaneously, making the farm operation smoother and more aligned with modern expectations.
But with all this incredible progress, the article also raises a critical concern: the bloodline concentration problem. The dominance of specific sire lines, like Overdrive Sons or Genosource genetics, is highlighted.
Yeah, that's definitely something we need to keep an eye on.
What are the long-term risks to breed adaptability when you have this kind of concentration, and why should we be wary of repeating historical mistakes in animal breeding?
This is a serious long-term concern that can easily be overlooked in the excitement of short-term genetic gains. When a few dominant sire lines, like the Overdrive Sons or the Genosource family, become ubiquitous across the industry, you're effectively narrowing the genetic pool of the entire breed.
Like putting all your eggs in one basket.
Pretty much. While these specific genetics are undoubtedly high-performing today, excessive concentration creates what's essentially a genetic monoculture. This means the breed becomes less adaptable to future, unforeseen challenges, whether it's a new, aggressive disease that a concentrated bloodline might be particularly susceptible to, a dramatic shift in climate that requires different adaptive traits, or an unforeseen change in feed availability or market demands.
We've seen this before, right?
We've seen this movie before in other animal breeds, where a narrow genetic base led to significant vulnerabilities or the emergence of undesirable genetic defects that spread rapidly because everyone was using the same few sires. If a specific bloodline carries a hidden genetic flaw that only emerges later in life, or simply isn't suited to an emerging challenge, the entire breed can be at risk. Maintaining genetic diversity is crucial for the long-term health, resilience, and adaptability of the Holstein breed.
So it's about future-proofing the breed.
It's like having all your eggs in one very successful but ultimately fragile basket. It's about ensuring the breed can evolve, not just excel in today's environment.
And with elevated feed costs being a consistent pain point in 2025, feed efficiency is called the make-or-break trait. How do indices like the UK's Maintenance Index or Italy's ICS PR rankings, and a bull like Genosource Captain with his impressive plus 255 feed advantage underscore why feed efficiency often determines profitability more than raw production numbers?
This is truly foundational, and it hits directly at the largest line item on most dairy farm budgets. Feed is, by far, the largest input cost for any dairy operation.
No question.
When feed costs are elevated, as they are in 2025, any inefficiency in feed conversion directly eats into your margins day in and day out. The UK's Maintenance Index helps identify cows that are more efficient at maintaining their body weight, meaning they require less feed just to exist, leaving more of that expensive feed for milk production.
Okay.
Italy's ICS PRO, which factors in components, implicitly rewards efficiency because you're getting more valuable output for your feed input. And a bull like Genosource Captain with a plus 255 feed advantage implies his daughters are significantly more efficient at converting feed into milk or components.
Like more milk per pound of feed.
In simple terms, yes. For every pound of feed they consume, they produce more profitable milk or produce it more efficiently. If you're spending thousands of dollars a day on feed, even a small percentage improvement in efficiency can translate into enormous savings over a year. When margins are tight, this efficiency can literally be the difference between a profitable year and one where you're struggling to break even.
It's basic economics.
It's basic economics on the farm. Reducing your biggest variable cost is often the fastest way to boost your bottom line, even more so than just chasing higher and higher production numbers.
Finally, let's talk about replacement costs and why longevity pays. The article states that rapidly rising replacement heifer costs, often over $2,000 per animal to raise or purchase, are elevating longevity traits to critical importance.
Hugely important now.
Revisit OCD Trooper Sheepster with his plus 113 days lifespan improvement and peak Alta value pack with plus 122 days, and explain how every additional lactation from a cow represents thousands of dollars in value, and ignoring longevity is choosing to hemorrhage money. This really brings it all back to the producer's wallet.
This is arguably one of the most critical and impactful points from the entire article for any producer because the math is undeniable and affects every single herd. If a replacement heifer costs you over $2,000 to raise or purchase, which is a very conservative estimate in many regions,
Easily.
every cow that leaves your herd prematurely forces you to incur that substantial cost again. Think about it. That's $2,000 in sunk costs that you're constantly trying to recover. When you have a bull like OCD Trooper Sheepster adding 113 days or peak Alta value pack adding an incredible 122 days to the productive life of their daughters, it's not just a statistic. It's a direct economic injection into your operation.
Real money.
Real money. An additional lactation from a healthy, productive cow can easily represent thousands of dollars in milk revenue, spread over reduced fixed costs and avoided replacement expenses. If a cow produces 80 pounds of milk a day and she stays in the herd an extra 4 months, that's thousands of pounds of milk, translating to significant income without the cost of a new heifer.
So ignoring longevity is just costly.
So when the article says ignoring longevity is choosing to hemorrhage money, it's not hyperbole. It means you are consciously signing up for higher costs, reduced efficiency, and a constant drain on your capital as you replace cows that should still be in their prime. It's an open financial wound if you're not actively breeding for cows that stay in the herd longer, healthier, and more productive. It's simply smart business to prioritize it.
That's a powerful statement to end on. So for our listeners, which of these trends, health and longevity, component production, polled integration, genetic diversity, feed efficiency, or managing replacement costs, is most impactful to your operation? And how are you adapting your breeding program to address these critical economic and industry shifts? It truly requires a holistic view, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, and the answer will be different for everyone because every farm is unique. It comes down to meticulously analyzing your own profit and loss statement, understanding your local milk market's payment system, and identifying where your biggest opportunities for improvement or cost savings lie.
Know your numbers.
Know your numbers. If you're paying huge vet bills, then health indices become paramount. If your milk check is primarily based on components, that's where your genetic focus absolutely should be. If you're struggling with high turnover, longevity is your answer. It's about leveraging these insights, understanding what the genetic evaluations actually mean for your farm, and making informed strategic decisions tailored to your unique circumstances and long-term goals.
So after all that incredible detail and analysis, what's the absolute key takeaway for a farmer listening today, summing up how to navigate this evolving genetic landscape?
Okay, yeah. The primary takeaway, and one I can't stress enough, is to adopt a portfolio approach to your genetic selection. The volatility we've seen, particularly in some genomic evaluations, underscores the need for genetic diversification. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, whether that basket is purely genomic or purely proven.
Balance it out.
Balance it out.
Mm-hmm.
My recommendation and what successful forward-thinking operations are doing is to build a balanced genetic portfolio. Aim for something like, say, 60-70% proven sires to provide that reliable foundation and stability, the rock-solid performers you can count on. Then, strategically use 30-40% genomic young sires to capture rapid genetic advancement and push your herd forward faster in specific traits.
But just based on risk tolerance.
Exactly. You can adjust those percentages based on your specific risk tolerance and how aggressively you want to push genetic progress. But the principle of diversification remains key to maintaining reliability while still moving your herd forward. Secondly, remember the absolute importance of market-specific selection. One size absolutely does not fit all in dairy genetics. You cannot follow global rankings blindly and expect optimal results for your farm.
Tailor it.
You need to intimately understand your specific market's payment systems and your own farm's unique management conditions. For example, as we discussed, if you're an Italian producer focused on cheese production, your priorities for high component percentages will be very different from a Canadian operation selling fluid milk, where perhaps durability and feed efficiency are paramount due to high replacement costs and diverse climates. Tailor your strategy to the traits that genuinely drive profitability in your unique situation, rather than just chasing the highest TPI or PLI score. It's about making sure your genetics directly align with your financial goals. And finally, regarding timing genomic adoption, be progressive without being reckless. The UK's strong validation of genomic predictions through proven daughters offers a good model for where genomic accuracy can give you confidence for early adoption of superior young sires.
Where it's proven to work.
Right. If a system is consistently proving its genomic predictions, you can lean into them more. However, the Italian experience with a bull like cookie cutter Hadley ET, where we saw such dramatic re-rankings, serves as a very stark cautionary tale against extensive use of unproven genetics, especially in systems that show such high volatility.
Be cautious.
Successful breeders are adopting measured approaches, using genomic bulls selectively to accelerate progress in specific areas, while maintaining a strong core breeding program built on the rock-solid foundation of proven genetics. It's about being smart and strategic, not just jumping on every new high genomic number without understanding the underlying reliability and risk. It's about being a savvy genetic investor.
Those are incredibly clear, actionable insights, and I think that's the precise roadmap producers need right now.
Thank you for walking us through that. And for our listeners, here's a final thought. The future isn't about choosing between proven and genomic selection. It's about leveraging both approaches strategically and intelligently to create cattle that thrive in an increasingly challenging environment, ultimately showing up in your milk checks and boosting your bottom line.
Great points. And that's all the time we have for today's deep dive. For more articles and insights on the dairy industry, be sure to visit www.thebullvine.com.
Don't forget to subscribe wherever you get your deep dives. Thanks for listening.
That wraps up today's deep dive into the August 2025 genetic evaluations. If there's one thing you take away from this episode, it's this. The gap between genomic predictions and proven performance is widening, and the winners are building balanced portfolios rather than gambling everything on unproven genetics. For all the charts, data, and detailed analysis we covered today, head over to www.thebullvine.com. That's TheBullvine.com. You'll find the complete breakdown of every ranking change, the economic analysis behind our recommendations, and the strategic frameworks that progressive operations are already implementing. And if you found value in today's episode, make sure to subscribe to the Bullvine podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. we bring you the genetic intelligence and market insights that influence real breeding decisions, not just the latest industry hype. Until next time, keep building herds that actually pay the bills. This has been the Bovine Podcast.